Despite our fight to keep Ebola out of the country, we could actually be helping to bring it in. Internal documents reveal State Department plans to bring Ebola-infected health workers into the U.S. for treatment at the price of up to $500,000 a person. Let's bring back in Charlie and Tom. We also have James Frischling from NewOak here as well. Tom, I would think you got to love this story.
Well, what bothered by more than anything else is I understand if there's a healthcare worker, they want to try to get them there from some other country. They say, if you get sick, come on into our country. We'll take care of you. We're pretty good at it. And oh, by the way, pay the bill for bringing them here.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me as much as this nurse basically going like this to the people of Maine saying,
right,
I'm going to do what I darn well feel like doing. It's like the doctor here in New York saying, I'm above all of this. And then the last thing that really bothers me is the government swore this was not on the radar. So they lied or either don't know what's going on within their own government about the fact that, yes, they are talking about bringing in people, healthcare workers from West Africa.
It is. It's the lie and the cover-up that really bothers me. James, what do you think?
I think the big question that everyone has to ask themselves is, do we have to take the fight to West Africa? Is that where this has to be? That's where we have to be on the ground. I think the overwhelming answer is yes. Do we have to take a leadership role? The answer is a resounding yes. And the rest is still being figured out.
And also, should we be spending the money? And I would say
yes,
overwhelmingly.
The show's called Money. I want to talk about the money.
Overwhelmingly, I think we have to spend the money. This
Absolutely.
is not something that we want to play with here. I think the administration was feckless in their initial attempt to try to describe its
They still are.
The ability to contagion,
They still are. The Pentagon is doing their
one thing we do know, it's worth spending, I'm telling you.
Okay, we discussed earlier how Hillary Clinton was doing some serious damage control after saying that, businesses, they don't actually create jobs. Charlie has been making some serious calls on this one. What do you
Well, I will say two things. Number one, I watched what she said and, how she said it. It appears that she was reading off a script. This wasn't something that she just popped into her head. This was something that she actually thought about. So it was premeditated, I believe. So she kind of wanted to say this. Number two, I said, so let's see what her Wall Street friends are. Now, these guys, when I know them, they tell me how great she is, how centrist she is. That statement, which is, corporations don't
create jobs.
That's kind of like, if you believe the world is flat, the earth is flat. I mean, it's a completely insane statement, and it's something that a real lefty would say. So I asked Larry Fink at BlackRock, we asked Lloyd Blankfein over at Goldman Sachs, and Tony James over at Blackstone, three major Hillary boosters on Wall Street who are going to raise a lot of money if she runs for president. What do they think? And guess what they said?
What?
Nothing. They won't return my phone calls.
They won't return your phone calls? I was on the edge of my seat there. They won't return your phone calls. They don't want to comment.
Well, I mean,
what are people telling you off the record?
They think she's insane, and they think the Democratic Party
just totally insane.
Well, think of it. The bottom line is this: how would her husband respond to something like that? He would have threaded the needle in a lot of different ways. But one problem that Hillary Clinton's got, and this is a money show, so it does reflect your money. The left wing of the Democratic Party controls the party.
Okay.
They believe in higher taxes, higher minimum wage, all the lefty things. She has to say that stuff.
Okay, can we put the market up? We were down almost 100 points. Right now, we're down 90 points on the Dow after the Fed. It's all your fault, Charlie.
Right,
no, this is, of course, after the Fed decision earlier today, and people are having a chance to read deeper into the language and try and separate out what they're saying. One thing that caught our attention was the fact that it sounded like in the language they might be raising rates sooner than we thought. So these are all the things that are being digested, and we are not taking our eyes off the market.
And it was a 9-1 vote, by the way.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Facebook initially reporting some pretty positive news to investors after it beat earnings for the 6th straight quarter. It was kind of all downhill from there, though. The social media giant warning that its costs are going to jump significantly because of a spending spree. And that sent the stock plummeting. They said there's going to be a 55 to 75% increase in expenses in 2015. And oh, by the way, Zuck got on the phone and said, we're not planning on making any money off, these virtual reality headsets. He said, quote, we are clearly not a hardware vendor, so we're not going to try and make a profit selling those devices. I mean, why would you? Who cares about making money? You're a stockholder.
This isn't Jeff Bezos speaking, though. This is Facebook. And Facebook, they still, any business would give their left arm for a 40 to 50% revenue growth, and Wall Street's complaining about it.
I would say this. I don't think Zuck should be communicating that specific specific message.
You don't think they should be letting him on the phone?
No, I think Sheryl Sandberg should be making that point. I mean, one of the things that separates these guys out from Twitter is management. She may be the most arrogant, pain in the rear end person in the world. I'm just saying she might be. I mean, I hear that. No, she might be. She might be, but she's a very effective business manager, and the street likes her.
The market has been punishing companies that are trying to be conservative on the forward outlook, not rewarding companies for the very good earnings, and Facebook's earnings hit the cover off the ball. But I think they're doing the right thing. I was criticizing Facebook for not enough investment. They're investing. I think this is the right move.
They're on a big spending spree. All right, we're going to leave it there. Thanks, guys.